image. Here we are, November 25th. Is it the 25th already? And we have a fantastically windy day today, folks, for which I was completely unaware until now. As I hopped in, I pulled out of the garage, windows up, and went for a drive. And it wasn't until now that I actually got out of the car and feel what life is like. And life is great, I must say. Especially now, compared to when I got in. My C8 Z06 has drastically improved my life in so many ways. I'm sure I could never, ever actually really convey into words and make enough videos to really express that. But I do want to talk about something that maybe isn't quite so much a topic of discussion and conversation when it comes to this car, from the perspective of, all right, I was looking at some other cars, mainly just because we were out and about. We were in Atlanta, and honestly, there was two that really caught my eye, three really, and we were at Avalon, okay? And so we were at Avalon, and they have a Mercedes showcase out front, basically. And so that showcase included an S63 AMG, which you don't really see too many of, but I also think that you don't see them because they don't stand out like S-Class AMGs used to. And we're actually gonna be back at Avalon soon. So when I go back, I'm actually gonna record that car. I'm gonna show you guys what I mean. The other was, I think it was a GLS 63 AMG that my wife was like, hey, and I asked her, I said, would you take that over a Range Rover? Autobiography, and she was like, fuck yeah, if I get this color combo, if I get those seats, if I get these wheels. But really and truly, the S-Class caught my eye. I was being distracted by a G63 4x4 square that I recorded to send to my buddy Teddy, and that was just for fun. But honestly, the next vehicle will probably be my wife's or my kids, which we need to talk about that. However, at the hotel, a Model Y on chrome got recorded. I did record that because it's just something you don't see every day. And from there, Jeebs has been catching my attention with his Model Y performance thumbnails, which I think that may be it. If my kid gets a car, she's probably gonna get a Model Y performance. At first, she was gonna get a Model 3 performance, but I think if she's ready, whenever, Model Y performance, I really like the styling of that. I think it looks really good. And for $3,000 more than a Model 3, I think it's well worth it. So there's that. Lastly, which I won't be able to get a shot of because it was just a random car in a parking lot, we saw a gentian blue Taycan at Halcyon. And I don't see gentian blue on Taycan. So at least not like this one. It was in the parking garage. It was super clean. And it really caught my eye, but there's no way. I mean, if I could pick up a Taycan for like 30 grand, maybe. I still like Porsche, clearly. I just don't like everything Porsche's doing, okay? However, this morning, I needed to recharge. I needed to refresh. I needed to recalibrate, maybe, and heal my nervous system, maybe. Maybe that's what it is. Healing my nervous system. And I got in the car, and I thought to myself, I said, the car is still pretty clean from when I washed it, which this video is so out of order, it won't even make sense as to when I washed it and what day that was and what day today is, what transpired in between now and then. But either way, that's where we are. And I was like, fuck it, I don't care. I need to wash it again anyway. And I got some new supplies coming that I'm going to use. And so there's that. We were actually planning on taking this to Atlanta, but the weather was supposed to be so bad up there. I said, scratch that. Then we didn't. Then I asked my mom if she wanted to ride back with us, so she did. And so that one worked out. So again, we won't be taking it next time because we got to drop her off, but soon come, we will be in Atlanta. We will probably head up to the mountains, and from there, we may grab a chill spot. We found a cabin or a mountain. It's not even really a cabin because it's just a badass house in the mountains that we're probably going to rent, and we're going to probably do that. But either way, eventually that will happen. Those road trips, those drives, those experiences will happen. And so today I get in the car. I needed a recharge. I needed a refresh. I needed to rethink a few things. I needed to get back to where we used to be, which is a great place, great place. And this car, honestly, did it for me today with the stereo. I was vibing out to some tracks I hadn't heard in a while, and you guys may pick up on that. I really like music. I like music so much I play it in my videos and I get demonetized. I don't really care.
If this world were mine.
Hey, Roman numeral 7, babe, drop it like it's hot. If this world was mine, I'd take your dreams and make them multiply. If this world was mine, I'd take your enemies in front of God. Introduce them to that light, hit them strictly with that fire. Fire, 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 fire.
And so the music, the sound system, the upgraded Bose, is a 3LZ. But here's the thing. It was a combination of the music and the car and the feel and the vibe. Like everything played into it. However, here's why an electric vehicle would not work the same. It's because no matter what mode I was in, touring, sport, track, I'm actually going to sit in here and customize my Z mode that I've never done before. The power plant, the drivetrain, you feel it. You got the music, you got the tactile feel, the touch of holding the steering wheel, which is important, which is huge, which is why you should never spec any steering wheel with Race Tex or Alcantara or Suede. Don't do it. Don't do it. Unless you're 100% tracking all the time and you're wearing gloves, don't do it. And so I just think it is a feature of this car that doesn't get enough credit and recognition, that basically makes this such a well-rounded out value, especially considering the prices. I know the prices are coming down. The car is depreciating. It is becoming a deal, a discount value play, and you can't beat it. You can't beat it. And I was actually thinking about this just the other day. Another guy, he posted a video on YouTube. He just picked up a Z06. It was yellow, maybe it was orange. And I'll put it up so you guys can see it. And he went through a long list, and I actually want to talk about a few of the things that he talked about. But what I thought about was, at first, I told you guys, I said, I think that this spec Z06 falls into the category of GT3 touring. And I was really only making that comparison because of the wing, or lack thereof. And granted, naturally aspirated, zero boost, no scrolling going on back there. However, I think technically it's a GTS. I think technically it's a GTS because you got to think the GTS is always the sweet spot. It's always the sweet spot. So I'm going to call this now the GTS of Corvettes. How's that sound? You like that? I guess we're having a little bit of a Fast and Furious moment where Dom says It's not always about being fast, maybe. And taking that into consideration, the most recent 0 to 60 tests done and performed by CarWow with a C8. Granted, it wasn't a Z06, but it's really eye-opening how GM, the Corvette team, marketing department has chosen to calculate 0 to 60 times, which is funny because me personally, it doesn't change a thing. If someone said, hey, Kevin, your car does 0 to 60 in 10 seconds, I'd still love it just the same. And that's just it. And it's because I bought it because I like it. I love it. I enjoy it. I bought it for me. I didn't buy it for anybody else. There's some folks out there who are hung up on a numbers game. Whew, I don't know if they'll ever be able to be happy. Today is a good day, guys. Today is a great day. It's an excellent day. I don't even know what frame rate I'm shooting in, but this overcast, I'm feeling this overcast. I decided to up it to 60 frames per second. However, I end up in post producing this will be a different story, but yeah, I love this overcast. It's really making this color pop. But for real though, where did he go? Oh, that's where it was. Sure enough, I can't just sign into my Yahoo with a password. How is this an invalid password? Okay. I've been sitting on this tab for a couple weeks now as a reminder so that I could show you guys. And the day that I decide to make the video is the day that I have a problem. And now I can't sign into my Yahoo. First world problems, right? So I got an email, or actually it was an update. It was an update and then an email from Geico because it was time for my insurance to renew. And it's actually kind of interesting because I was looking at it a few days before to see if there was going to be an update, and it still showed my old policy and essentially the one that was about to expire. And that was it. There was no indication of what was to come. Well, then when they updated it a few days later, they basically said, this is the new price you're going to pay. But the old price was gone. And I didn't do a lot of digging online to see if I could find it so that I can compare. But I did remember that I had actually made a video when I first got my C8 Z06 talking about how much I was paying for insurance. So that was very helpful for me to go back on and review and compare. And ironically, shockingly, believe it or not, my insurance has actually gone down. Hey, look, I ain't mad about it at all. No complaints, no qualms over here on this side. And so I just wanted to go over that briefly and talk about just how much less my insurance is going to be. Now, that was the first message or email from Geico. This is the other that I wanted to show you guys, but my computer would not allow me to log into Yahoo from my laptop. I have to actually call them, which is going to be interesting in itself to see if I can get someone on the phone to try and figure out how I can log into my Yahoo email account from a desktop, as I'm still able to get into it from my phone. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but be that as it may, I got an email here. This is 11/28 and says, Geico, important notice regarding your policy renewal. And this is where things kind of get interesting. November 22nd, before that, your billing information and updated paperwork, which shows or $2,404.90 for 6 months. But in essence, what I'm actually paying for my Z06 is less, if that makes sense. And I think overall, collectively, less. But regardless, 6 days later, after they updated my policy and I paid for it, of course, I get this. And this, oh boy, we recently renewed your Geico policy and want to thank you again for allowing us to provide for your insurance needs. Your renewal includes several important contract changes that address your requirement to tell us about anyone living in your household who has a driver's license, anyone who regularly drives your vehicles, and the coverage implications of your failure to report that information to us accurately and in a timely fashion. In addition, we have made changes to the declarations page on your policy renewal package that lists all drivers who are rated on your policy. If you receive your policy documents electronically, copies of your declarations page and new contract can be found at geico.com. And if you receive your policy documents via mail, copies of your declarations page and new contract were included in the renewal package we recently sent you. Please review the form, Notice of Change in Policy Terms, Additions, Reductions, and Coverage that highlights the terms of your new contract and describes how these new terms may alter your coverage. Action needed by you. Please review the list of additional drivers on your declarations page to ensure that it is a complete and accurate list of all drivers of your vehicles and all drivers of motor vehicles who live with you in your household. If the list of drivers on your declarations page is complete, you do not need to do anything. If you believe that any of the driver statuses are incorrect or if any household drivers are missing, notify us immediately. Individuals listed on the policy as does not, will not drive autos have lesser or no rights to coverage under your policy. If these individuals or any other undisclosed drivers operate your vehicles and are involved in an accident or loss, you also have lesser or no rights to coverage under the policy. You can add drivers at geico.com. Log into your account, navigate to the drivers section and select Add a Driver. Any driver who resides in your household must be listed in the additional drivers section on the declarations page before a loss or accident to receive all coverage available under your policy. If those drivers are not disclosed to us and listed on your policy, they will not have the same rights to coverage as listed drivers, and in some cases will not have any coverage under your policy. If these drivers or any other undisclosed driver operates your vehicle and are involved in an accident or loss, you also have lesser or no rights to coverage under the policy. And so that right there, folks, was really just wake up, Kevin. Here we are, because my daughter is coming of age to be a licensed driver. And while we're on the topic of insurance, it would be no better time for me to share this with you, this little tidbit. And we have, I think, come to an agreement or a conclusion here of what we plan to do. And I know some folks will say it's crazy. What are you thinking? Are you insane? But we're thinking about getting rid of the pool. Now, granted, no pool should, in theory, mean lower homeowners insurance costs for sure. But the pool was just cleaned yesterday and my vacuum's still in there, the dead battery. But for the most part, this pool stays filthy all the time. We have way too many trees and we're not getting rid of the trees and we just don't use the damn thing. And I don't know what the hell happened last night. We got to figure out what's going on with our lights. None of our landscape lights work anymore. None of our Christmas lights work anymore, which I don't know if you guys saw the Christmas lights. But, and then every time I go to use the pool.
All right, I got to add trees to the little front tree. Lights to the little front tree.
And really just the hot tub, it's just a pain in the ass. It's a headache all the damn time. And the water level's been pretty good right now, but sometimes we lose a lot of water and it doesn't make any sense. And honestly, we didn't put the pool in. The pool came with the house. If it was up to me, we would have never had it, but it came with the house. But it's not big enough. It's too small. It really is too small. The space around it's too small for seating, and we really only want the hot tub, which is a little bit weird considering we live in Florida. But yeah, we have a neighborhood pool. Our neighbors are going to put a pool in, and 3 doors down, they have a pool. We could use theirs, but we just don't use the pool. Pretty much just like when we were in the apartment and we had a massive pool that we could use all the time, never had to worry about it. Granted, we were paying for it, but it was somebody else's responsibility to maintain it physically, and we still didn't use that either. So I think pools are extremely overrated. And yeah, so we may be getting rid of ours. Drinking water, popping pills, not because I have a hangover or anything, even though we did have quite the event, and this is what's left over from Thanksgiving. It was far more, there was so much more, and plus we went out and hit bars and things like that.
All right, go.
But my shoulder, my rotator cuff specifically, is reminding me that it's still fucked up.
If this world were mine.
Hey, Roman numeral 7, babe, drop it like it's.
But I tell you what, guys, I'm not about problems. I'm about solutions. And I'm still signed in on my Android here. So I can just show it to you from my Android, but I need to have a way to record it. And I would use my iPhone, but sure enough, it's flat. It's flat out dead. On top of the fact that I scratched the screen, which I don't know if y'all can see that, or cracked it really, but good thing I got a screen protector on it. So what I will do is I will charge this and then come back later to complete this video, which I don't know when that will be, as it is now December 4th. And you know, it's just, I felt like finishing the video. I had the time, I had it in me. I was excited and enthusiastic about it. Now I'm being distracted, sidetracked, and delayed. Plus I have a 9 o'clock meeting or Zoom call and some other shit to do. So I don't know when I'm going to finish this video. So close to Thanksgiving, so close to Black Friday. And we got friends coming into town, car fans as well. So I want to make sure she is ready to go tip top, clean as a whistle, ready to go out and rip it and run it. But as I'm about to wash, shit just keeps falling on the car. Like it just keeps falling on the car. This is fall. And what I decided to do today is get a pre-wash going, sort of like touchless. And then I'm gonna come back and clean the wheels, and then come back and touch the car. The car's got, I don't know if you can still see it because the phone might be doing a pretty damn good job, but it had some spots on here that really needed some love. And actually, now that I think about it, I'm gonna record it after I rinse it off and see maybe if the soap took care of it. I was also not very pleased with the consistency of the soap on this one. I think I needed more soap, as I'm running a different soap this time. But I might be pleasantly surprised, so let's see. And here we are with the Flexzilla hose. It says it on here somewhere. Flexzilla. And it's good. I think the best part about it is the length, as you can see where I am currently, and I'm almost wrapped around the car. But it doesn't kink, but it does do this a little bit. So it's, I mean, technically it's kink free, but I think maybe another 25 feet, Maybe another 30 feet would be ideal. And I may even pick up the rollers for the wheels. I think if I had a longer hose, I wouldn't need it. All right, we're rinsed off. And let's see if I can identify any of those spots I was telling you guys about. I know there were some here, some bug guts and splatter, but you know what? They may actually be gone. They may actually be gone to the point where I don't even have to touch the car to clean it. The wheels are a different story. And the reason why is because the car has full PPF. It's got a hydrophobic PPF, and then that PPF has, ironically, a ceramic coating on it, which boggles the mind. How can a ceramic coating stick to a hydrophobic surface? But I don't know. I don't question science. But the wheels are not PPF, which honestly, why are they not? Why hasn't there been a PPF created for wheels yet? And if there has been, then that's news to me. But I feel like that could be a thing. And you can see here, you can see how that water beads. I mean, that's the PPF and that's the coating. And honestly, I think that the car is now clean. As far as like the little spots that I was seeing that I thought I needed to scrub, I think they're gone. Working on being a little bit more prepared, so I found this bucket. And then I'll use this bucket to house and transport all my goods. Back here, I decided to clean the wheel brushes in the laundry room sink rather than the kitchen sink, so I don't get divorced. Here we are in the laundry room. I actually built this, or assembled it yesterday. And so we're trying to get everything cleaned up here and somewhat impress our guests, because their house is always so perfect and neat and organized. But we've been sitting on this thing for months, so finally put it together, got that done. We got new nightstands. Those are those tiny little nightstands I was telling you about. Got those. And take a pit stop here. I still got to tidy up those wires. And what we ended up doing in here was moving one of the living room chairs in here, which seems to have worked out for the kid. But we put her old TV up here and put it on a movable mount, because there's so many wires that a regular mount had it facing the ceiling, basically tilted up. So we put a new mount, and now you can pivot this TV if you're gaming and watch the TV, or you can pivot the TV for if you're lounging, laying in the bed. This is for guests, and there's that. And yes, I gave in. The kid got a new TV. Granted, she didn't get the S95D, but she did get a Samsung OLED, and she said she really likes it. And so I guess the correct term would be LS03FA, which seems expensive, but we bought it with the 5-year warranty too, because I'm not a huge fan of Samsung and their longevity and their quality. So we did that. And yeah, there's that wall mount. We gotta see if I can sneak a peek in here, as it just got cleaned before it gets back to normal, back to teenage girl mode, but this is the TV. It's technically a frame, and it's like super flush against the wall, which is crazy. The mounting of this was pretty wild, and it's supposed to show pictures, but right now she's got it turned off. But either way, that's the new OLED. But I am going to use this kitchen sink to fill up this foam cannon. Ultimately, the goal here was to fill up the foam cannon with warm water. And I was rinsing out the soap that was in it previously. But the goal is to just fill it up with warm water as high as I can before pouring the soap in, versus doing it the other way around, to limit the amount of like sudsing and bubbling that happens, to get the maximum amount of water and soap concentration. And what I realized today in doing this, which I'm probably gonna spill a lot of this if I try to do this with one hand. Stradman, how do you pull this off? I need a professional camera crew to follow me. But what I realized is that, you know, if I had to do it again, we didn't build this house, we bought it, but it's custom built. Obviously, I would spend a fair amount of time in planning and designing the garage. The garage would not only, I hope that's on there. There it is. The garage would not only have drains here. Well, number one, it would be sloped from the back to the front. And then there would be a drain or a grate here to catch all the water. That'd be number one. But number two is there would be a sink in the garage. Here we are, folks, all done for now. And I'm only looking at my watch to see what time it is because I don't remember what time I started, but I'm gonna look back on the video and see. I ended up spending probably about 10 minutes on each wheel. I probably spent about 10 minutes on each wheel. And then I ended up foaming the whole car down again and scrubbing the entire car. I had time, and I was actually listening to music on my AirPods, so it was actually pretty calming, pretty peaceful and therapeutic. And the only thing I'm gonna do different next time is I'm gonna get a chair to sit on when I clean the wheels. And so that's that. I've dried the car with the blower, and that's the other thing I'll do different. I'll probably get those towels that I used the first time and dry the car with the towels first, and then use the blower to button it up. And then tomorrow, granted they're coming tomorrow, but I got plenty of time. Tomorrow I'm gonna clean the windows. I'm gonna open up this vacuum cleaner that we got and vacuum out the inside. And later on the day, after it's really dry, I'll go ahead and put the tire dressing on and let it do its thing so that it doesn't sling up when we take it out for a spin. Maybe tomorrow, maybe we take it out Thursday. They're gonna be here for a week, so we got plenty of time. The weather is supposed to rain at some point, so they say, and so there's that. But whenever we're ready, she is ready. And then as I was washing the car, I was actually thinking about how I took it out yesterday. I drove it to Best Buy. I needed to pick up that TV mount. And I was looking at my rear view camera and I was thinking, man, you know, a ZR1, I was actually thinking about horsepower obsessed because he put a ZR1 wing or a replica wing on his Z06, his 25 Z06, I believe. So I don't know if they moved the camera for 25 because Wheeler, I know he's got a 25 ZR1 and his camera is back here. His rear view camera is back here. And I don't know if for 25 they moved all the cameras or if only they moved the cameras for the ZR1, which means if you don't have a ZR1 and you add a wing, that basically means that your rear view mirror camera is useless. Wake up, Kevin. Here we are because my daughter is coming of age to be a licensed driver. Now, granted, she has a driver's license. She's got a permit. It's not a full driver's license. And so I'm not quite sure how that falls into this. Not to mention, she actually doesn't really like driving, so she hasn't driven much, if any, really. So I have to log into Geico, see what this declarations page looks like, and then determine and decide what I want to do from there. Because I can assure you that if I add my 16-year-old daughter onto the policy, that discount and savings that I just experienced will fucking vanish faster than you can imagine.